All right, we're here live with a couple Stanford field hockey players, Fran Shu and Caroline Bodwin, joining me. Thank you, too, for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Not a problem. So, first of all, a little introduction. We have Fran Chu, who was the most outstanding player of the field hockey tournament. Of course, Stanford is in the NCAA tournament after winning the conference championship. And I want to ask you guys first, so this was your first conference championship since you two have been playing for Stanford, but you've been to 3 straight NCAA appearances. So how was that feeling, really kind of getting the conference championship finally?
I think for me, the most exciting thing with this NCAA game versus all the others is that we feel like we've actually earned this one. And, we deserve to be there. We're not there through any kind of subjectivity. We won it. We deserve to be in that tournament. And, coming into the tournament, we're all on a level pegging. No one deserves to be there more than another person, another team. And, every game is who plays the best in that game rather than who had the better season. So that's why I'm personally more excited about this one than I had been for all the others, just in terms of the way that we got there is definitely more deserving, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. And it also adds a huge level of confidence going into the tournament. And overall, as a senior, having made it, I feel like it's the icing on top of the cake to be able to say that was just definitely one of the goals that we wanted to accomplish before moving forward. And now we can graduate at least having said that we won that, and it's a great feeling.
Yeah, so Caroline, you just kind of alluded to my next question, but specifically for you two being seniors and having been to 3 straight, what kind of, experience or I guess leadership as well do you bring to the tournament for the other players who may not have, kind of experienced that yet?
I think it's living in every moment. So in past times, I think, kind of overlooked our conference, and then we decided to really live in that moment, win the conference, and then going forward, it'll be the same thing. Yes, we want to win, go to the Final Four, but first we have to make it through the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8. So it'll really be focusing on each one of those games step by step.
I think this year, more than any other year, from the get-go, from the first day we arrived at preseason, we really set our goal to win conference, which would then help us get to our ultimate goal of winning the national championship. And I think previous years, it's come a little later rather than the first day. It's come more halfway through the season. We've said, right, we want to win a natty. But I think just setting it straight out and letting those younger players, and especially the freshmen, including our international freshmen who don't really understand what a national championship is, I knew what that feeling was. Just setting that early, I think, has really helped with the team's kind of progress towards what we want to get.
All right, and speaking of freshmen, I want to talk a little bit about Kelsey Bing. She was the Rookie of the Year in the America East. She plays goalie for you guys. What has she been like as a presence in goal?
She's actually really come into herself, because I remember, she obviously came in rated really highly, and we expected a lot out of her, and you could tell that she was a little bit nervous at first, playing great, but was more scared to talk to seniors who are playing defense with her. But halfway through the season, she had this moment where she did not care anymore and would just scream at us, and it was great because that's exactly what we needed. And now her confidence just moves on to the rest of us, and it's really great having her there.
Another funny thing about Kelsey is that she's definitely the most informed hockey player in terms of the conference, the league, the national, just outlook of hockey. She knows more than anyone I know, including probably our coaches. She knows everyone on every team. When we set up for a penalty corner defense, and she turns to me and goes, "Oh, that girl there, that number, she does this every time." I'm like, how do you know everyone's tendencies? She's really good at, just knowing the things she needs to know about every team.
That's awesome. Does that has to help you two? You two both play defense in front of her, and that has to help when she knows more than, I guess, like you say, the coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So, on that same note, in defense, you guys led the country with a 1.09 goals against average, and obviously every team is going to say that defense is important, but it seems like you guys take that especially to heart. Why is that?
I think our coach really preaches that the best defense is no defense, and we, although our defense is amazing, one of our big aims is our defense goes from the very top, from the forwards all the way back to the defenders. So the fact that our defense is great doesn't just rely on Kelsey and Caroline and other key players that actually play in like the straight back defense of our team, but our forwards put in a lot of effort to make sure that we don't need to do as much work because they're doing their job and making our opponents cough up the ball rather than making us having to make these big tackles. So I think that's definitely something that we keep.
Yeah, I would say team defense, but also it's very much a team culture. Like defense for us is purely an attitude. It's just hard work. I came in, didn't consider myself a defender at all, did he go away? He's gone.
So,
oh.
We've lost you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you. Can you see us?
Yeah, I can see you. Just keep going, I guess.
Yeah, so basically it just comes down to working really hard. It doesn't take that much skill per se. I mean, it does, but it's really just putting your head down and outworking your opponent. And the reason our team has gotten so good is that it's purely a mentality, and you can take any player coming in regardless of their skill level and just teach them that mentality, and they can become a really, really strong defender.
And in the championship, the field hockey championship, you guys had 2 shutouts in the 3 games you played. What was kind of the key in those games for you?
I don't think the mentality was any different than usual. We always want to keep the score on our end as low as possible. We really have focused on tackling outside the circle and not letting the other team get any corners. And the Cal game, at least, by halftime, they didn't have a single shot on goal, which was really highlights what we're going for.
Yeah. And another thing, something that we noticed in the Pacific game is once we get the goal, and all you need to win is 1 goal. And I think we've realized this year, more than every year we've been here, is that 1 goal's enough, and 1 goal is all you need, especially in tournament play, to get through. So once we kept that 1 goal lead in Pacific, all we needed to do for the 35 minutes in the second half was just keep the ball, stay composed. If we can prevent playing defense, then we're going to have control. So defense is important, but equally as important is, keeping composure on offense and not letting turnovers put your goal at risk.
Yeah.
Caroline, I didn't get a chance to ask you after the game, but how did it feel for you winning that conference championship?
Really good. It was really great. I cried a lot more than I expected, actually. And overall, it was just a really good weekend, starting from the banquet to all our wins. And it just, I laughed to my mom. I said, I feel like I can die happy now. I've accomplished these goals that I wanted to so desperately, and it felt really, really, really good. Definitely
the highlight of our field hockey career.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it was fun to watch. And you guys play UNC on Saturday. What have you kind of started to do for practicing for that game?
Well, it's interesting because for us, at least, it's the first time we've played UNC in all 4 years. So it's an exciting game, and actually, no one, because we've never played each other, there's no reason to believe that we could not win this game. So, we're set on the same playing field. And yesterday we just did a little bit of video review of UNC just to see their tendencies and how we're going to counteract them. But today is just solely about us, and we're just going to work on our own game, get those competitive juices flowing, and get ready for Saturday.
And you told me before we went live that you have a little fun practice that may also be a tough practice today. Talk about that.
We call it Cardinal Cup, and it's kind of like the meat of our whole team. And what we do is divide into freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and then the classes that don't have as many people, the coaches will actually play. So tensions are very high because literally everyone is involved and everyone wants to win, and it's a little round robin tournament, and it just brings out the most competitive juices out of everyone. But it's good because when we go into situations like overtime, we always think to ourselves, this is Cardinal Cup, this is Cardinal Cup. We've done this a million times. We got this. So we think it's really great, and our class especially takes it very personally. Just, I don't even know why, but one time there were jackets on the line for winning, and it's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
That's awesome. So what else is going on this week for you guys, down the road all the way up and through the travel to UNC, and what's your kind of your practice schedule the rest of the week up until game time?
So we have practice today. Tomorrow we have breakfast at 6 a.m. and then our flight's at 10 or something around that time. Thankfully, we have our first direct flight to the East Coast, which is being a big talking point. And then when we get there, it's just, getting heads down, ready for the game on Saturday. Friday, we'll have a short practice.
Probably an hour in the field.
Yeah, an hour just to do corners and see what the field's like. Each turf's very different. So it's good just to get used to the turf before we get out there and play our game.
Cool. And we'll end with some more fun questions. But what can anyone that's going to see you in the airport expect from your team? Are you funning games? Are you going to be playing games on the flight, dancing around?
Lots of games, lots of noise. We like to make the freshmen do skits, so people in the airport might get a little show. And sometimes we just start breaking out in song, especially on the bus. There was a time that we do this thing called a count off. So we just make sure everybody's on the bus, and we found ourselves doing it on the shuttle once. And we just started cracking up laughing because we thought, we are now on public transportation doing a count off. Like, what is this?
Yeah, lots of fun and games, definitely. That's good.
All right, cool. Well, that's all the time we got. Thank you, too, for joining me, Fran Chu and Caroline Bodwin, and best of luck to you guys against UNC this weekend. They play Saturday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.